organization is known as New Zealand Pranic Healing Foundation Incorporated, which is a charitable organization, and we do this gathering or event every week. So every Monday we'll be here or somewhere else in Kawaipura Pura. We'll try to do it elsewhere also, but due to COVID, we had restrictions. But now I think things are going better, so we will try to be regular here. Pranic Healing Foundation is working in New Zealand for last, I think, 20 years or so, and it is very well-known organization for wellness. As you know, there are a lot of alternative method for understanding wellness. Many people do not like to go for drug and stuff like that, medicine, chemicals, and treatments. So we teach people how to be healthy using the ancient techniques, which has been modernized by our teacher. He was the founder also. So how you can use certain very simple method by which one can remain healthy, fit, mentally, physically and emotionally. Many people can treat usual disorders and diseases by giving medications, which is very easy. But what people do not understand, at physical front or physical level, the disease manifests only when it is mentally and emotionally disbalanced. So if it is not entirely manageable mentally and emotionally, then physically it actually manifests. So we try to teach people using the techniques how you can get rid of something at the bud. You can nip the evil in the bud so that you do not get any disorder or disease. Secondly, we increase the mindfulness about our own body, mind and spirit by getting inwards rather than outwards. Most of the time, our five senses are always outwardly. That's why Hiren's concern was that the noise will distract us. But believe me, once we are truly focused, it's my limitation if I cannot keep you focused and your mind get distracted there. So my idea will be to, doesn't matter whatever happens outside, it's not about outside, it is about inside. What is happening inside is more important than what is happening outside. Most of us are so outwardly because of our five senses, as you all know, which is touch, which is sight, which is basically our nose which inhales fragrances, ear that hears, and touch that make us feel something. All these things together distracts us, and it is common. For everyone it is true, right? And what we need to do is we need to touch something from inside, which means that whether we are able to hear our inner self, look at us with the inner vision, also to understand how we touch ourselves from inside, and also we need to understand if there is something which we normally do not feel, we can feel when we go totally inwards. One of the things you may feel that you will be able to hear your inhalation and exhalation, that is breathing. Sometimes you can hear your heartbeat also if you go totally inward. Most of the time when we are externally focused, we don't hear our heartbeat, or we don't even know what is happening inside us. Uh, I can ask a typical question that, do you know the blood is basically flowing inside our system, right? What do you call them?
Blood vessels.
Blood vessels.
Yeah.
That's right. So blood vessels are, carrying blood. But do you feel it? You don't feel it. You can feel it when you touch from outside. You can feel it very good, But inside, the blood stream is very, very fast and it is actually whirling. Still, we don't even understand it. So now, if we can feel it internally, then we have achieved something. The idea is that how do we do it in a very shortest possible time, and how we can do it regularly. Once we know what is inside us, then it will be very easy to understand what is inside others. Because since we do not know about our own self, we do not know the feeling of others most of the time. So it is very, very important that in our journey we should know ourselves or date ourselves absolutely every day, or at least once a week. If we can do it, then we have somebody really, really unknown but very close to us. You'll realize it. So this is basically a gathering when what we do is we do a group meditation, and during the group meditation we take you through a guided process and give you some time to look at yourself and understand the vibrations, understand how the thoughts are not us. Most of the thought that we pick up, they are not ours, but because of the influence of our surroundings, right? Like that sound has suddenly distracted him. Why? Because somebody sent something, some message or some thought. That message has come because somebody's thought has been created, a text. And because that text is now occupying some of our time, which is external bound. So that's why these are some of the things which will keep on coming or bombarded at us, either through some tools that we are familiar with, or it will come without anything, like it is like wireless, it is like a vibration. For that, I can tell you one small example. Suppose you go to a church or a temple or a mosque or a place like this, you will have very different kind of what I call is feeling. But the moment you go to a pub or a casino or a place where some big event is going on, your thought process or your mind will definitely have certain influence of the ambience that you are in, right? So what that ambience is doing is it is actually controlling you. Okay, in our pranic healing system, we call it a thought bombardment. In a higher method, it's also called egregore. A person can create a kind of vibration which can be powerful enough to influence you. You don't, a moment you enter in that region of the area of the influence, it will affect you. Please come in. Please come, sit on a chair. If you're good, there is another thing here. Yeah. Please be comfortable. The idea is to.
If you would like to, we can
Okay. So I was just trying to kind of introduce our organization and what we do. In the process, I also am talking about the inner self, because when we talk about fitness, we talk about physical, mental, emotional fitness. So wellness comes as a holistic fitness rather than just physical fitness. And to understand that our inner journey is very important. So how we get into inner journey is to kind of understand what are the points of influence and what are the influencing factors that can distract us most of the time. So one of the most important factor is our thought. Our mind keeps us busy, isn't it? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
That's the reason why people get stressed. Is they're thinking again and again and again, same thought which has been given to them by the superiors or somebody who you either adore or respect or hate, I don't know. So they can give you all kind of thoughts, and based on those thoughts, your mind will be occupied for some time. So that is one way of getting something, and those thoughts will come either through text or through verbal process or through media, I don't know. But there are many thoughts which are not even coming through those process. They are invisible thoughts. Okay? Sometimes you feel sad, you don't know why. And suddenly you hear something has happened which is not so good. So those thoughts are invisible, inaudible, or not perceivable. Or you cannot deny them. They are all around us all the time. Now, it is our choice, our option, whether I need them or I react to them. My reaction is based on my sensitivity, isn't it? If I am sensitive to negative thoughts, you will notice most of the things that is happening around you will be negative. But if you are really, really positive set, a positive mind, with positive set of thoughts, then you will attract only those kind of thought which is vibrating with your own perception, own thinking, own area of influence. So you create your own area of influence by doing certain process, certain methods. One of them is, of course, meditation, but it is easier said than done. Meditation really does not make any literal sense, or what is comprehensible thing. It's a word. But how to become meditative using this technique can give you some inner experience which is very individual. Your experience, after experiencing, you will not be able to articulate. That's the big problem. Your experience is absolutely. Do you understand my accent, Lauren? Okay. I'm sometimes speaking very different accent. Hopefully, is it all right for? Okay. So these are some of the difficulties that we always face. And then there is a clash. You will say, look, when I meditate, I see this. And another person will say, when I meditate, I see or feel this. If they are similar, then you agree, and if you then you try to kind of influence or talk about it, that no, your thing was not correct, your thing was correct. Master says that everyone's experience may be different, but it's a journey. For example, I can see up to that, 10 meters distance because of my eyesight. Somebody's eyesight may be better than me. He can see very clearly beyond 10 meters. That does not mean that I will not be able to discover it. If I just walk and go there, I can discover what is the other person saying. So one limitation does not make us any less than anyone, because together with the five what you call senses, we can do wonders. We can do a lot of things. Right? We agree? But believe me, in this journey, five senses are very, very less. The one most important sense that we are not been able to understand is our intuition. That's the reason people may have a lot of knowledge and they can talk a lot of things without having any wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge is totally different. Wisdom comes from your intuitiveness, your ability to intuitively understand things which is beyond the book or beyond our day-to-day analytical knowledge that we grab or get from the university or from the modern teachings. No, it is totally different. You only get those feelings, those messages when you are totally connected. And where you are connected? Actually, you are connected to yourself. Our brain, our higher self, our higher intuitive ability, actually it encompasses every possible knowledge that exists on this earth, because we are a big supercomputer that is interconnected with each and every being on the earth. So we are like a network. But unfortunately, we choose only those information or those thoughts which are closer to us and which are bombarded non-verbally, or verbally. So who is the most strongest point of our influence?
News.
No. News. For example, I am a child. I'm not even knowing what is news. Parents. Very true. Correct. Our parents have the maximum, influencing ability, and that's sometimes very good if you have very good parents. If the parenting is not good, then it can be really, really problem. Okay. The second most influencing factor is our society, community, where we think we are from. Okay. So whichever society you belong to, whichever community you belong to, whichever school of whatever you call it, you belong to, you will get influenced by those. Okay, they are not actually helping us to develop our own intuition, but they are influencing factors. After that, you come to contact, make friends, family. Then you have got lots of media. Media is a very strong influencer in today's world. So you learn from each and every such process which can influence. But problem here, that when you know that something you should not know, to unlearn it. Very big problem. Everybody teaches you how to learn, right? Did anyone so far taught you how to unlearn? Probably not. Probably not. Well, that's a big problem. You learn everything knowingly, unknowingly, by influence, by your choice or by your passion, whatever you call it, and then you do not know how to get rid of it. In computer system, suppose you have got some unwanted email, what do?
Delete.
So easy, no?
Mm.
But same thing, you cannot do it from your memory. Can you do it? And you create so much of garbage. I'll not say garbage, let us say clutter. They call it in a very nice word, clutter. So much of clutter for so long period of time, which is lying in our memory, and we do not know how to declutter. I'm not telling all experiences are bad. Experiences are mixed. Why not keep something which is good, and something which are not worth carrying? We should throw it or erase it. Unfortunately, we do not know. Why we do not know? Because nobody has taught us in our school how to do that. All they tell you, this is wrong and this is right. But if wrong thing has been already picked up and memorized by us, how to get rid of, nobody teaches. Good news is that using some of our techniques, you'll be able to do that. Not only by yourself, but other can also do it for you. So we teach you to go to another level, and from those level you can totally erase some of the not so good learning or not so good experiences. Because according to our system, anything that is coming out of fear, sadness, resentment, hatred, jealousy, they may not really make anything very important, but as it is carried in computer, what happens? It makes the computer slow. Do you agree? If you have a lot of unwanted, in our mind, it will not only make it slow, but it will make some of the organs dysfunctional, depending on what kind of thought you're carrying. Because there are sometimes very strong emotions connected with the thought. Any of you have got fear of future?
Fear of what? Sorry?
Fear.
Of future.
Some people have, they don't know what will happen, so they try and gather wealth or some commodities. In COVID, I have seen a lot of people were buying, they were in a buying spree, everything.
Toilet papers.
Crazy, huh?
Toilet papers.
Toilet papers, can you imagine? So it has been created, thought has been created, and in your mind, and you have no idea to know that everything is adequate in the world. Okay, there may be a little bit of inconvenience, but thing can be made all right over a period of time. Because it's such a nice country where everything is working very planned way. So what I'm trying to say, the fear of future can cause a lot of, mental imbalance, or I can say emotional disbalance. Sometimes emotionally we feel angry. We don't know who to blame. And more you keep thinking that, more it will affect you, particularly in our mental, mind, body, emotion. This is, I call it a structure or infrastructure. In this infrastructure, some of the energy centers or the doors will not be working as it should work, because we will be giving more importance to certain doors which may not be really important, and some of the doors which are really, really important, we will shut it. So this kind of irregularity cause a lot of our glands or hormonal mechanism, which are basically involuntary and it happens automatically, they get influenced, they get disbalanced. particularly people who get a lot of fear, their uh, kidney may get affected. People who are prone to become very sad often. Have you seen people are having a disease nowadays? They call it melancholia. They are always sad. They don't know what to do. The cause of sadness is one of the hormone in the body which is not adequate, and if it is not adequate, it can cause sadness, and then slowly it can, if you do not change it by your will force or by your some mechanism of food or I don't know, you will become a victim. There are chances that you may get heart issues, sometimes people get asthma. So there's nothing to do with the food, and just by certain emotions which are excessive or which are more influencing or dominating, it will cause this kind of problem. So what we do in regular gathering, group meditation, we try to make certain alignment of these energy centers for individuals, and when we work as a grid or together, we become more strong, and we can influence even those who we do not know to align their energy infrastructure. Did you get my point? It's like if I am a strong magnet, I can induce certain magnetism in others. A single person can change many people, and their influence can be for good or for bad. But that attraction, the magnetism, I call it inner magnetism, can be developed over a period of time. Like if you do this meditation which we will be doing for 365 days, your inner magnetism will be so much that people will come and beeline to see you and talk to you. Although you will be same person, your knowledge or other things will not be anything extra, but your inner magnetism, your aura, your vibration will be really, really strong. Okay? So all of us, we should create our inner magnetism. Inner magnetism will increase our external influence. Whatever we attract, it will come to us. How many of you have read that Law of Attraction, that book? Secret? Read it. In that, most of the information are quite brainstorming and good. But what they have not told is how to practice and what to practice. They have given the logic, they have said everything very nicely. Or what are the things you need to do has not been explained very well. So what we need to do is, in few words, not the entire practice I will tell you. First, number one is that you have to talk to yourself. The most ignored person on this earth is yourself. We don't give importance to everybody, ignoring ourselves. So we have to start giving some importance to ourselves. So we talk to ourselves by giving a date or like time, maybe half an hour, 5 minutes, I don't know, 10 minutes, coffee with Lauren. You have to give.
Got my me time.
Like that, coffee with Mahtab or coffee with Noor. So you sit and take sip of coffee and talk to yourself. That is one of the most important things. That is the first step that you need to do. What is the second step? Second step is to understand how not to get influenced by some of the unknown thoughts or some of the thoughts which is appearing and making me very excited or dejected. Either way, you have to say that this is not me. This is something coming, but this is not me. even if you think that way, you will be able to see those thoughts just like a cinema. You see the cinema. When you come out of the, I can tell you, when I was a child, when I used to come out of the cinema hall, I used to think that actor was me. Huh? Did you? I think in your lifetime you might have, experienced that kind of thing. Moment you, I think, can you? So moment you come to term with this, that no, that was not me, that was somebody else who I really got influenced. I mean, have been influenced to think it as if that's me. Namaste. Please come. So, hello, how are you? Please come, please come. Okay. So that is the second step. The first step is to have a date with yourself. Second thing is to see the thought as if they are movie, they are not you. So that feeling which you used to get in your young days when you are watching a movie and you say, as if I am the Spider-Man or I am the whatever, you're James Bond. For some time we used to get, what I call it, there is a word for it. Not bewildered, but hypnotized. I don't know what was it. So you always feel that that character, if you like that character, not that you will never feel that you are a villain. Only you will feel that you are actor or actress, because those are the characters you liked. So that feeling can happen now also. Not necessarily by watching movie, but thinking about something, and that thought will influence you, start influencing you. And it will be picked up by you either from media or from book or from anyone who can influence you, your parents, your spouse, your whoever. And you suddenly go into the buying the thought, and you think that that's my thought. Okay. I will request you to uncross your hand, because it will not help you to get the right energy. So what happens is, this is the second step. Okay. And third step is to check what you are comfortable with. Suppose you are comfortable with just sitting like this in a relaxed manner. Okay, that's fine. You have to be comfortable with something that makes you, that brings some kind of peace in your mind. Because as I told you, when we are attached with the world, with the senses that keeps us distracting, it is very difficult to control it. It will always, like, phone will ring, somebody will, talk, some excuses will come. All this thing will be distracting us. The moment we pull them and go inward, then what happens is we will be able to be peace with ourselves and be in that state for some time. Maybe 2 minutes. I'm not telling that do it for 1 hour. Even 2 minutes, peace with yourself. Nobody is bothering me. Very rarely I have noticed that when early morning I go to the toilet, I am very peaceful. Nobody bothers me at that time. Unless they get up before me. It doesn't matter where you are, but sitting in a place where nobody is creating anything, any disturbances, you are undisturbed. That is very important. You have to practice that. Second thing is that, fourth one will be, even if you are sitting among the noisiest place, okay, it doesn't matter. You'll still be at peace with you. That is the next step I was telling you. There was a lot of noise, but do you remember anything that penetrated you? You tried to close the door and all. I told you, when you are absorbed, you don't even worry about what is happening outside. So that is still within this room. You are totally focused what is happening in this room. But slowly, slowly your room has to contract, and then this is going to be your room. And then you are totally listening to the voice, listening to the heartbeat, listening to your flow of the blood, listening to what is happening, energy, movement. So that's the time when you will realize you're right, you're harmonious with your mind, body, spirit, emotion, everything. If you increase that moment for little longer, you'll remain fit, I can tell you, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's the short, what you call, description about what we are. Now, Master has gone ahead one more step. He said that, okay, once you develop that ability to go quickly inward and totally be with yourself and peace, now I was talking to you about this communication. Now you'll be able to send this to others. That means you can, if you are in a balanced position, you are healed, you have created already some kind of magnetism by which you can project that to somebody who is not balanced. So that is what I call is healing. So you can create the energy field of somebody who is not as stable, as balanced, as aligned, or as integrated. So you can increase others' integrity with your integrity about that energy that I'm talking about. So that is the fifth thing that you can probably do as you practice it. And we teach them in the workshop how to do it. But question is not how to do it, how regularly you do it, because doing it by just once, it will not work. You have to really do it again and again and again and again. And then you will feel that it becomes as easy as brushing your teeth. In the beginning, when we were kid, somebody used to brush our teeth, isn't it? That we don't know even. But you see how the children are taught how to brush. Slowly, slowly they start brushing. And once they have really got the command, do they really feel that it's a time consumer or it's a difficult thing? So easy. So believe me, this fitness, wellness, healing, all these things are very easy if it is practiced properly. Okay, I think we have done a lot of info talk. Manjula, you are not telling me when to stop. Shall we do some physical exercise after this? Yeah, I will like to mention about one of our teachers, which was who was very close to our original grandmaster. She brought actually this whole pranic healing, inner engineering, inner science to this place. She passed away in 2018 or 19? 18. Her birthday is actually on 20th of January, but we may not meet on 20th because it's very difficult to. So we'll celebrate in a very small way. So I will tell something about her today, because I remember in 2017 she had come to New Zealand, right? 16 also she had come, yeah. So her name was Hazel Varda. She is originally from India but was staying in Melbourne for maybe 30-40 years. She was like people like one of us, but what has happened in her life, her husband used to be in military services, They together they came to Australia once they retired, and she was a natural clairvoyant and naturally very sensitive to healing and stuff like that. She was practicing some homeopathy, acupuncture and stuff like that, alternative healings. But what happened is that in, I don't remember which year, his son, who was only 20 years, went for a cruise and never returned. He lost young son. And thereafter she felt like giving up her life. But everything is not in our hands. So she happened to meet Master Chua. He is from Philippines. He was traveling in India at that time. And she went to India to meet her parents, or I don't know, and met Master. And Master, after meeting Master, she changed her mind. She said that it is our time to help humanity, consider everyone as a part of us, and then also understand how energetically we remain connected also with the disincarnated and departed souls. There are mechanisms where we can literally remain in touch. So that's how she changed her journey. And till 2018 she was here giving regular workshop courses, retreats. Many times we did something together. Along with Master, we enjoyed a lot of workshop and learned many things which I can share today, thankfully. So ideally, her main message was that we must feel about others. Once we start feeling about others, doesn't matter if it is a human being or a pet or a tree or anything, any living or non-living thing, if we start feeling about, that feeling will increase our degree of connectivity, compassion, or our heart will start growing. If the heart grows, then only our intuition grows. If we are not compassionate, we cannot be intuitive. No way. Compassion is very important. Empathy is very important. Kindness is important. Sensitivity is very important for any healing to be done. So we need to learn what is empathy. If we keep thinking about only us or I, we become self-centric, which is okay for our survival, because if we have a headache, we need to go and buy paracetamol or a Panadol. That's okay. But we need to also understand, if somebody is not comfortable, we must go and help in certain way. Whatever little way we can do, we may not be doctor, but we can go and say, how can I comfort you? Even that gesture helps quite a bit and helps us to be mindful about us and about others. So relationship, it develops between two entities only when we are compassionate. Today people think money is very important, which is, I don't say no, but believe me, relationship is way more important. If the relationship is not there, whether it is friend, family, colleagues, or anyone that you can think, all your money is of no use. And I have not told the last relationship, which is to yourself. You have to relate to yourself. If that is missing, believe me, you will ignore everything. Because if I do not love myself, who else I will love? Do you agree with me, or you still disagree? Try to love yourself. Try to say, I love you to yourself before saying, I love you to somebody else. And it will change. That is the point of change. That is the beginning of change. So please, this is what my Dr. Hazel and Master has been always telling us. And I'm very, very fortunate that today I'm able to share the same thought process, same, what I say is, I will not say they are some kind of sermons or dogmas. I'll say that's the message. This message, I think, coming from them. So with that, I think I will talk about Hazel little, more, because she was brilliant healer. She would do mass healing. I will give some demonstration of healing. Are you still having pain?
Yeah, both of us, yeah.
Both of you have. Unfortunately, I have not brought my crystals today, but I'll still give you some demonstration, probably after the meditation. Do you have any special fast, quick meditation on Lord's Prayer or something like that? Are you carrying?
Lord's Prayer must be done.
Okay. Never mind. We will do the normal meditation. But shall we do our exercise first? So we have to get up.